and I'm in Santa Barbara, California, for the first nationwide test of the new 2027 Kia Telluride, an exclusive invitation. But even more exclusive is this new Telluride, because what you're seeing didn't exist in 2026. For 2027, it comes with surprises. This one hides a completely new engine, and I assure you many of you are going to love it. And this one is bigger than the previous one and has more torque. And the price? Well, I'll tell you if it's more expensive or cheaper than before. In this video about the new Kia Telluride 2027, the new hybrid version. Welcome. I have much to share about the Kia Telluride, as it's truly Kia's flagship in the United States. We know that it's made here, it was designed here in the United States, it's not coming from Korea. It's also assembled here in the United States. And there are many changes, and they are visible. Look at this front grille, a new design that I think is quite contemporary. Let's check it out here with several lines, here vertical ones. With this body color, this gray combined with this black, it looks very sophisticated. It looks more like a premium SUV, but it's the Kia SUV that's really creating value and generating a lot of sales. This is a very interesting fact. The resale value of the Kia Telluride has been climbing, and it's now above the Hyundai Palisade. Look, they showed us a chart where you can see that it's above Mazda, and now it's in 4th place. Of course, it's first. It's among Honda, Toyota. Well, let me show you the chart. But the resale value of the Kia Telluride, for those who worry and say, I only buy Toyota because it has a better resale value. A resale value. The Kia Telluride has been climbing up the ranks and its percentage has increased significantly. Front camera, Kia logo, which stands out much more here in this black color. This is going to be an SUV that's not like a uniform. When you see it on the street, it's going to catch your attention, and some people are going to like it. Tell me in the comments if this design resonates with you or if you're interested. I keep checking. Here I see good functionality. You have your front camera. Here the division with the body color. This gray, the adaptive cruise control. You have more air intake down here. The height of this, well, I'll specify what the height is for you. But there's a version that's higher, which is the Expropria version. That's the gasoline version. In this video, I'm only analyzing the hybrid version, and I also like the headlight assembly, with a slight variation from what the previous model had, which was manufactured until 2026. This is a new generation. I like the headlights, let's say. Different micro lenses. I think all this front part connects visually quite well. Oh, and further down, you also have your pair of fog lights. In terms of dimensions, you'll find this Kia Telluride 2027 a bit bigger. It has more inches overall, but in terms of wheelbase, which will allow you greater comfort between the first, second, and third row of seats. In terms of what they call wheelbase, the distance between the axles, it increased by 2.7 inches, which is a generous increase to allow even more comfort compared to the previous model. And I also like what's happening here. On the wheels, look at these black details. With this visual accent on the wheel arches, I think it looks really good. Here we also have a unique detail that adds a modern, contemporary feel. We'll also have some covered tires, some 20-inch rims, which are also an exclusive design, a new design for this Kia Telluride. These are 20 inches. We have a profile of 50 and 255 millimeters wide. And they've really focused on the details because look, the mirrors also have this cut here. Nice, it kind of goes down, gives it a modern, contemporary look, and it has its slim light here, LED, its camera for peripheral vision. With this gray, the black works really well in all the parts. The details are nice. You have the handle, this one that's embedded, the lower part in black, also in a metallic tone. I mean, with pretty clean lines, which I think works really well. The glass is polarized, rails on top in black, and it really has that identity that you can tell it's a Kia Telluride, but it's been modified and aesthetically improved. And as you've seen, there are many changes and modifications that this new Telluride has had. And this one is truly new. Because there wasn't one with a hybrid engine with an electric component before, it's no longer fully electric. Do you understand that it's a hybrid that didn't exist before? For the Telluride model, which is the flagship, the top-of-the-line vehicle from Kia here in the United States. The big difference, despite all those modifications they've made, you're going to feel it when you drive this Kia Telluride. And I have to say that it really made a good impression on me. This Kia Telluride feels very solid. Here you're going to have more power, even more power than the solar version. Exactly the gasoline one. It's a bigger SUV. Of course, in terms of dimensions, it's exactly the same. But you feel really good. You can feel, let's say, the availability of that power at your disposal. It feels very solid. And in this area of Santa Barbara, in California, which we've been assigned, where Kia has invited us to test it, where there's an ideal, beautiful topography for it, mountains, curves. You don't feel, that's why I say it's solid. You don't feel too much body roll. I'm driving it in sport mode, and this first driving impression, I've already driven a few kilometers. This first impression, honestly, has really impressed me. You're going to like it. You're going to like how it performs when you drive it. Yes, there are a lot of things in terms of technology, a lot of things in terms of space, and the different engine options. But the driving experience is definitely one of the things, if not the most important thing, that you're going to like about this new Telluride 2027. And what's at the heart of this new Telluride, the hybrid version? Well, here's the big news. The big headline is that you have a new engine. This new engine is a hybrid that didn't exist before. In 2026, what did they offer in 2026? Well, do you remember that they offered the 3.8-liter V6 engine? The V6 is a species on the verge of extinction. Have they already changed it? Is there a gasoline version? Yes. I'll leave that for another video, just to focus on the gasoline version. But this is the hybrid version. It has an electric component. The V6 disappeared. Yes, it's gone, both for the gasoline version and for this new, completely new version, the hybrid. That V6, remember, gave you 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque and had an 8-speed automatic transmission. What does this 2027 have? When they put in a hybrid, it gives you 329 horsepower and 339 pound-feet of torque. More push, more torque. What transmission does it have? This one. It's a 6-speed automatic transmission. There you have it. It's the engine of the new hybrid Kia Telluride. For 2027, it's a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo. And look, right now I'm on an incline. We're already going up the mountain here, in this area of Santa Barbara. At no point do I feel like it's choking or too heavy. No, of course, you can feel the weight of the SUV, that's normal, but it doesn't feel bogged down. In sport mode, the transitions of that transmission are good. It doesn't get lost, let's say. It doesn't get confused. I think it performs well. And here, in terms of visibility as well, what can I say? It's very good. You have the rear view mirror with a camera monitor, also the mirror itself. Very good definition. You can also use it as a regular mirror if you want. And overall visibility is very good. In this Kia Telluride, the driving position is something you'll love too. It's quite comfortable, ideal for a long road trip. This is the kind of vehicle you'll enjoy taking on long journeys. If you like what they call roadies, long road trips, this SUV is going to be ideal because you'll feel comfortable and your family, the passengers, will also feel great. I've started to go downhill. Obviously, we're going a bit faster, but I like the handling. I like how it takes each curve of this route and the steering. One of the things you've often heard me say is that it's very sluggish, that it's not very communicative. In this Telluride, I find it quite connected. Good feedback from the steering to the driver, and that's something for those of us who like to drive. Well, it's nice when you have a better idea of what's happening between the steering and what the wheels are doing. That's really nice. Well, I don't know if you can see this beauty we're looking at here. A natural mountain landscape, a beautiful bridge. I never get tired of telling you about it when we experience this. Not only the driving, but also how beautiful these routes are that the United States of America has to enjoy. I'm going to take a look at the interior of the new Kia Telluride Hybrid now. But first, if you're enjoying the video, give it a like and subscribe, because we're going to help a lot of people who are looking for a 3-row SUV, a family vehicle, to have good guidance, a buying guide. And that's the purpose. So we're helping other people. It's also a way to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Subscribe. So let's take a look at the cabin. This interior, let's say, has a pretty refined presentation. I like the materials they've used. Some hard plastic, but with a texture that gives it a certain elegance. You have your 2 screens, the instrument cluster screen and the infotainment screen. Here you have a module with climate information. But, well, this has little animal drawings and all that. I don't know if, since it's a family car, well, maybe kids or people who like this kind of graphic presentation will enjoy it. But anyway, you have the usual stuff. They show other Kia vehicles, valet mode, the different modes, let's say, also for ambiance, weather notifications, climate, sports. Well, you have all of that here in this KIA. Here you have, let's say, the climate section. Also, it's completely digital. Although they keep the button and key system, while some have already eliminated buttons and keys, Kia Telluride keeps them. And the button for the audio is here. The audio is from the Meridian Audio Premium system. I like the panels, the doors. It has a very good presentation here on the headrest. Very good, very nice presentation. This is Alcantara, the upper part of the backrest. This is perforated vinyl or leatherette. It also looks very good. This color combination looks good. Dual wireless charging for cell phones. This also has a very nice presentation. It looks like a more premium truck. You have good grab handles here, which in the X Pro version are much more useful. Here are your cup holders, which are kind of dynamic. You can reconfigure them. To place an iPad and such, you can put the key here. L-Hall, the descent control, the camera. Look, we're going to have the definition there. You can move this. It gives you a peripheral image of what's happening, and also the other angles. Okay. And the parking alert sensors? Here you have connectivity, several USB-C connectors, and of course, your glove compartment. The price of this truck will surprise you. Just as you see it, equipped like this, it costs $60,000. $60,000. It starts at $56,000, but with all the equipment you see here, it's $60,000. Let me know your thoughts on this Kia Telluride's price, given its refinement. The steering wheel is two-tone. You have your cruise control settings on the left side, audio controls and modes here on the right side. Drive modes are integrated right here on the steering wheel. Everything is visible. There are terrain modes for snow, sand, and mud. Right. And you have options for Eco, Sport, and My Drive. We saw them there. You can display the compass or your trip information on the screen. This is in color. For the heating, seat heating system, and seat cooling ventilation system. In a tone as if it were metallic, plastic, but as if it were metallic. It's also pretty good. And the heated steering wheel, heated steering, are some of the other convenience features we have here. In this Kia Telluride Meridian system, also with many speakers, double panoramic roof, it extends all the way to the third row of seats. And, well, there you have it. The Kia Telluride's interior feels much more refined and looks pricier than it is. What really grabs my attention is, where is it? The start button is here in the steering column. I'll show you like this for better visibility. The person driving with me couldn't find it since it's somewhat hidden. I'm not sure I like it. I don't like how hidden it is. What about you? Integrated, embedded in the steering column for the automatic transmission shifts, it looks like the one in the Ioniq, the electric one. You'll see from here, since you have the graphic that shows you how to do it. Since the wheelbase is longer, it offers more comfort, especially when getting in. The second row, captain-style seats, is going to feel much more comfortable here. You have good refinement, you have Alcantara. This second row feels great, and let's check out the third row access. We press down here, it adjusts itself there, and we make access to the third row easier here, now without much effort. I think you press down again. This adjusts itself, and there's plenty of space back here, so your knees won't feel cramped, right? Let's see how far it goes. Let's see if, of course, with a longer wheelbase. Here I still have a good distance for my knees, and there's comfort. Adults can ride here comfortably too, not just kids, and it feels great. To exit, do you press the button? I like these equipped versions because they offer many convenient and comfortable features. It's really easy. Here, inside as well, you'll have the sunshade for the sun. You have nice details here. Good finishes in the interior. In the second row, the buttons for the heated seats in the second row. Also premium details. I like all of this. The Meridian speakers, a premium audio system that sounds really good. All these are details that make this SUV seem a bit more premium, a bit more expensive than it actually is now, in terms of driver comfort. With a fully digital instrument cluster that also communicates all that to you, and an infotainment screen. Here it is. And of course, many will say, well, all instrument clusters are the same now, all digital. But I really liked this one in particular because you have the speedometer very clearly on the left. Everything is well distributed in modules that are very easy to look at. And besides that, you have the head-up display, the digital projection right in front of the windshield, and that helps a lot. You have the tachometer on the right, also all digital. And in the center, you can change the information. You also have information about the current trip, the timer, well, a lot of useful information that makes the experience feel pretty safe. And it's also close to the entertainment screen, with good definition. You have more information here in the middle. Between the instrument panel and the entertainment screen, you also have a module with more information about the climate control. That's good. So I think overall we're talking about a pleasant experience from all the elements. And the steering? Obviously, I like it a lot because it has the controls very easily accessible, very clearly marked, very easy to use, And I like that too, because that also affects safety. You don't have to think too much about these things. It's intuitive. That's the word I was looking for. Intuitive. And the information you were waiting for. Obviously, since I'm driving the hybrid version that didn't exist in 2026, but for 2027, Kia is making it available in its engine lineup. Its fuel economy, consumption. Now we're talking about, well, on average combined, 35 miles per gallon. I think that's about 14 point something kilometers per liter of fuel economy for an SUV. 3 rows of seats, mid-size. With this size, that's quite adequate. It's good. It's maybe not the best in its segment anymore, but it's not the worst either. And what about the hybrid version? Another important thing you have to keep in mind, the hybrid version will give you, of course, depending on driving conditions, temperature, and all that. It will give you a range of autonomy. With a completely full tank, you could travel approximately 630 to 637 miles. In theory, let's say, with very conservative driving. And that, but if you have to do it, well, you know that around 600 is a pretty generous number of miles. In terms of fuel consumption, I think that's pretty good. Very well. And I'm going to introduce my travel companion. He doesn't speak Spanish, so I have to translate. All right. Very good. What's your name? John Perley Hoffman? You work for Road and Track.
Road and Track?
Road and Track is a magazine. It's a very prestigious magazine here in the United States, so whoever writes there really knows a lot. Okay, what did you think of the experience in the cab? Because that's important. I have an impression, and I'll tell you in a moment. What do you think about the noise in the cab?
It's very, very quiet. I mean, it's very well isolated. This road is a road I drive on every day almost because I live here in Santa Barbara. Okay, so this is a very, the thing that you really have to appreciate here is you have more tire noise than you have wind noise, It's the wind is extremely managed, the air very, very well. For a car that's so square, you'd expect more wind noise. We don't get any wind noise at all.
All right. So let me translate that. He says that the cabin is quite silent, that it doesn't transmit too much tire noise or wind noise, which are important things. And honestly, I agree. I agree with that perception. How quiet is the cabin in terms of noise and vibrations? They've done an exceptional job. It feels like a more premium SUV.
Yeah, it feels very, very, it's comparable in noise to something like, I don't know, a Range Rover, probably, yeah.
It feels like a Range Rover. That's important, and that's why I wanted to mention it. And it costs much less than a Range Rover. Thank you so much.
No problem.
The rear part is not left behind in this new Kia Telluride. Here, we're really going to see the work. Of course, visually, it doesn't really lose much of the identity that the 2026 model had. But it still keeps that visual identity of the new 2027 in this hybrid model. You have your logo here. You have the rear view camera, they've placed it up here. The Telluride name is still in high relief here on the back. You also have nice details in the colors that define, let's say, this new identity. Brake light here on the rear bumper, and you have good ground clearance. Although I repeat, the X Pro version is the one that's a bit higher because it allows you to do some off-road maneuvers. And let's see. Let's take a look at the wheels. This is something they keep. Although there has been a slight aesthetic change, the Telluride's identity remains, with the vertical rear lights that you can easily identify as a Telluride. And here you're going to have good cargo space, a compartment where you have a bit more storage. Look at this detail here. This is full of details. They have worked on this because this is their star product. Here in the United States, you have spaces, compartments, hooks, this net to hold your grocery bags. They've thought of nice details. You can move the second row of seats using these 2 buttons. I'm pressing them now to increase the cargo space, and also with these straps, you can lower the 3rd row. And just look at all the cargo space you'll have in this new Telluride. And if you're wondering how much you can tow up to 5,000 pounds with the Telluride. All right, here you have it, the Kia Telluride 2027. After the presentation, let me know your thoughts and what you liked most about the Kia Telluride. If you have or had any complaints about the previous Kia Telluride, let me know in the comments so we can discuss. I believe this is an SUV with 3 rows of seats that has grown, that has better technology, and that has a hybrid engine. I found it interesting and discussed it with you in the driving test clips. I think it's going to seriously compete against its sibling rival, which is the Palisade. But well, it's a strong rivalry. I mean, they compete even though both are Korean and belong to the same group, but they compete fiercely. And also against the others in the segment, because it's a tough segment. There are 3 rows, seating for the mid-size SUV. Which would you prefer, this Telluride, paying the $60,000 it costs for this, the fully equipped version, or maybe a less equipped version? Well, let me know there, also in the comments. Sending a big greeting to the Latin American community watching me and a big hug to the Hispanic community in the United States. Obviously, I also live here in the United States and I really appreciate the trust and support you give me, but also to my friends, brothers from Mexico, Colombia, Chile, Peru, Panama, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the people from Spain. I send a big hug to all the communities. In Argentina too, I know a lot of you watch me, and all of Central America, and obviously also the people in Canada, the Hispanics in Canada. A big hug to all of you. Well, I'll see you in the next one. I'll leave a video here for you. You're going to love it. Big hug and see you. Bye.